Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Apocalyptica reaction video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll be basically binging this group on two different channels for the next couple of days, I may as well, it may be of some interest to note, ladies and gentlemen, is that for every song that is not either on these two albums, which ones would you want to see? Would you like to see something a little bit more from Saint Anger, for example, make it onto Volume 2? Or would you rather have like something from Saint Anger put on Volume 1? Now, I get it, Volume 1 was released well before Saint Anger was released, but even so, that's just the question I want to ask, because I mentioned this before when I was doing like videos for Volume 2, is that there's one song from Saint Anger, there's nothing from Load, there's nothing from Death Magnetic, there's nothing from Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and there isn't anything from 72 Seasons either. Interesting, because those aren't bad albums. Let's get that, well, some are better than others, let's put it like that. But yeah, that's just... Isn't it strange as well as that 72 Seasons isn't even 8 seasons old, and already it's kind of... It kind of feels like it's been forgotten a little bit, but we'll wait and see. But with that being said, we go from forgotten in ways to probably the most iconic thrash metal song of them all. Iconic thrash, or more heavy, I suppose, but either way, there isn't like one metalhead alive who does not know what Master of Puppets is. But with that being said, played on... This is also good, but this might also be one of those cases where I also have to maybe pause a little bit, where I straight up say, I want to know, because Master of Puppets was already a very captivating and very, very unique tale of its own. And we're going to see exactly what that can be done when you're just using cellos. So, let's go. Hey! Okay, I'm going to take a pause here, and excuse me if we might be pausing on this for a bit of a while, because I need to ask you guys a question. Now, is it possible that Apocalyptica... I think they've actually done something very, very unique, and something that I honestly thought I was not really going to be anticipating. You know what I think they've just done? I think they've actually turned Master of Puppets completely on its head. What do I mean by this? Well, just from what I've heard so far, now we know Apocalyptica is pretty much exclusively about drug addiction, from the high, the low, and the finale of There Is No Escape, Please Fix Me. I always had this like fantastic like image, if they ever made Master of Puppets like into an actual film, and there'll be a guy who's like in therapy, and he breaks down saying, "Master, master, where's the dreams that I've been after?" And then he rips off his shirt and go, "Fix me." That would be like the cherry on top. But I think, you know what, I think I don't know if it's just the scratching, or whether it's so fast paced and so frantic. The first thing that came to my mind is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If every single character had schizophrenia, there is a mania going on. It's like Master of Puppets if it had mania to it. It's going through a friggin' mania episode. And I think that's entirely down to the cellos. I think it's entirely down to the scratchy, the frantic pace. I think it's how utterly it's like it's going completely out of control. Ironically, because Master of Puppets also describes somebody's life going completely out of control through drugs. Tell me if you think that's like a very wild interpretation. But then again, this is a very, very wild adaptation of Master of Puppets. Because some people, I feel like I think some bands run into the trap that when they do a cover of like a really well-known song, is that sometimes people do it just so they can hear, like Trivium, for example, when they did their cover of Master of Puppets, it was still really good because you get to hear Trivium play Master of Puppets. But in terms of like what else can you do with it, it kind of doesn't really go any further. Apocalyptica have actually tried to like it's like same story, different perspective, and that's just I now whether that makes it better or not, I don't really I think it's also very up to interpretation. But I cannot deny, ladies and gentlemen, that this sounds really, really good, and I'm super impressed because this is just sort of, this is what I mean by style and substance. Well, to be honest, if it's anything to do with Master of Puppets, I want to say it's more substance abuse, but you know, this shit writes itself. What can I say? Moving on. See, just your life turns faster. Obey your master, master. Master of puppets, I'm pulling your strings. That's if I feel I can't see a thing. That's if I feel I can't see a thing. Just come and take us pulling your strings. Master, master. There it is. with laughs, laughter, laughter. When the sea is laughter, 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 laughing at my words. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, wow, I mean, that it literally, like, Master of Puppets played on 4 big cellos. It fits the mold perfectly. Like, these things were meant to be together. I think I know, again, I think I've said deep down inside that I think it's down to, well, yes, of course, the premise is absolutely, like, it's a huge selling point, but I think it goes a little bit further than that. I think it's not just about playing metal songs on classical instruments. I think it's the surprise about how well it works, and that's the thing. Again, when you bring it back down to the sort of things that Metallica have written about, they're sort of, I think they were almost designed to have that edge, like a very macabre, gothic sort of really dark edge, which is that's absolutely what you come down to listen to, and it's damn straight the thing we're going to be keep listening. And there's still 9 more songs to go on this album, and I must be honest, I'm already having like an absolute blast, and I can't wait to see what we get. I mean, to be fair, the very next song is Harvester of Sorrow, which is low-key one of the best ones they've ever done. Prepare to hear that phrase a couple of times, but what can I say? So, take care, and bye-bye for now.